Dimensional analysis or unit analysis. This is one of the most overlooked skill or mathematical skill that we take for granted, dimensional analysis. Because not only do we just use this in math class or chem class or physics class, we actually use this in our everyday lives as well. So this dimensional analysis or unit analysis is just a very fancy term to help you analyze the units you're using and convert it into a different one that you want. So an example I always tell my students is that this is what I experienced. A lot of people, once they get the answer on the test paper, they just write out the answer like 35. And the first thing I always ask them, well, 35 what? Or I'll just say, hey, I'll give you 35. And the first response would be most likely 35 what? Because the what is the unit. That's the unit what we're talking about. And the unit could be inches, could be millimeters, could be kilometers, could be miles, could be dollars, could be anything. What exactly are you talking about when I say 35 if you don't have units? So unit analysis is trying to convert this unit, whatever we have, to something we want. And most likely you're given this conversion factor. So to give you an example, when I go traveling, I do unit analysis all the time, because if you're traveling, you can't use Canadian dollars. You have to get the local currency. This is one cedi's, one Ghana cedi, and I want to see how much of this would I have, or how much Canadian dollar if I were to have 35 Ghana cedi. Okay, so I need to analyze the units and convert that into Canadian. So in order to do this, I need a conversion factor. Most of you will have, oh, this is wrong, it's conversion factor. And most of you will be given a sheet full of the different conversion factors. That's the standard on how to convert things based on the factor. So what that means is that in order for me to determine how much one cedi is to the Canadian dollar, I need to know how much it is right now. And this xe.com actually tells me, and right now in current time, the conversion factor, conversion rate of cedi to Canadian is this much. So how do I convert this 35 Ghana cedis to Canadian? It's very straightforward. What I do is I do two operations. I do multiply and division. Okay, some of you might have been taught this little grid method just to keep things in the numerator and the denominator. What it is you're going to take this unit that you started with, you're going to place that in the bottom, because that's what happens is that you're going to get rid of it, right? You're going to cancel. At the top in the numerator of this that you're multiplying to, that's what you want. So I'm going to put Canadian. So the conversion factor right now is 1 Canadian dollar is, let me see, oh, 1 second, 2.87, oh, it's actually not that much anymore, 2.87 cedis. So what happens is that the cedis will cancel with what you started. The Canadian dollar is what you want, so that's what's left. And then you go 35 multiplied by 1 divided by 2.85, which is just 35 divided by 2.85, and that's your Canadian. So you might be wondering, well, can I use this for anything else? Yeah, of course you can. Say if you were to give in 35 centimeters, you want to figure out how much that is in meters. Well, in order to convert that, I need to have the conversion factor. So my conversion factor is that for every 100 centimeters, there's 1 meter, right? So let's do this. 35 centimeters times division bar. This basically separates your numerator and the denominator. So centimeters is at the top, so I need centimeters at the bottom to cancel. What I want meters to be at the top. And then now I fill this little fraction with my conversion factor. So there's 1 meter for every 100 centimeters. So I go 35 times 1 divided by 100. The cm's will cancel out, so leaving me with 0.35 meters. That's how you do this. You can convert anything with this conversion method or the dimensional analysis. Say if we were to have inches, so that's what's 55 inches in let's see, centimeters. Okay, I can't do this straight up. I need to have the conversion factor. So the conversion factor is for every 1 inch, there's 2.5 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so that's the conversion factor. That's what you need. So I'm going to start with my setup with 55 inches, and I'm going to have times division bar. What I started with, that's going to go into the bottom, so inches at the bottom and centimeters at the top, because the inches will cancel. Put my conversion factor in here, so 2.54 centimeters divided by 1. So now you have 55 times 2.54, and whatever that number is, that's your answer. And don't forget the units of cm. So that's your unit analysis, or dimensional analysis as the fancy term, but it's very straightforward and also very important.